Hello everybody, it's Lazel here with another Magic the Gathering Arena video. Today we are playing a deck around the mechanic Domain. This mechanic is from Dominaria United and it's simply focused around your basic land card types. So for example, the Noshiba Brawler gets its power equal to the number of basic land types among lands you control. The thing is, we are close to the new set, Phyrexia All will be one. I am saving up my wildcards, so I tried to build this deck with what I have. You're probably already missing the Leyline binding here in this deck, but overall I tried to build this deck on a budget with the cards that I have, and yeah, let's see what I have and let's have some fun with it. I do still have quite a few of the different triumphs here that have a lot of the basic land types simply on one land, so you play them on turn 1 and you already enable Domain for free, for example, followed up by some basic lands for some fixing, and that is actually it for the mana base. Let's go over the cards. I am playing Gaia's Might, a simple pump spell for 1 green mana that says target creature gets +1/+1 until end of turn for each basic land type among lands you control, which can be in the best case a +5/+5 or in the worst case a +1/+1. Then we come to another protection spell, Tamiyo's Safekeeping. Target permanent you control gains hexproof and indestructible until end of turn, you gain 2 life. This deck isn't on the aggressive side, it's more of a mid-range deck in my opinion, so having a Tamiyo Safekeeping can be helpful with a lot of the removal spells that are currently in the meta. Go for the Throat, Infernal Grasp, and so on and so on, because we don't have many creatures, and so those that we have we need to protect. Then I have the Radar Firebrand on turn 2. For 2 mana you get a free 1 human warrior that says whenever she attacks, target creature defending player controls with power less than Radar Firebrand's power cannot block. Pretty cool for an aggressive deck, and she has a domain ability that pumps her up +2/+2, and this ability costs 1 less to cast for each basic land type among lands we control. Though we can activate it only once each turn. Still, for 1 red in the best case we get to +2/+2 and maybe not make the opponent shielded block, for example. Coming back to the Noshiba Brawler, 2 mana, Trample Cat Warrior, which power is equal to the number of basic land types we control. This can easily be a 4/3 on turn 2 if we have a Triumph on turn 1 and then a follow-up land, or it can simply be a 5/3 on turn 3, for example, already on the board, I'm always saying. Okay, then third creature, always an honorable mention, Jewel Thief. It is a 3 mana 3/3 with Vigilance, Trample, and when it enters it creates a treasure token. This deck tries to play with creatures that have a lot of inbuilt keywords, for example Vigilance or Trample, because we don't have many Trample enablers. And for example, Gaia's Might is a pump spell that synergizes very well with Domain or has the Domain ability, but it doesn't enable any Trample or something. So we want to get around all of those jump blocks, which is why Gaia's Might is very helpful. But then our creatures need the inbuilt Trample already. Jewel Thief, great card for that. Also because the treasure token that we make on turn 3, for example, when we bring him out, we can use it to either give a creature hexproof and indestructible with the Tamiyo Safekeeping, or if we already have a creature on board, we can pump it up with the Gaia's Might. Neither the way. Alright, then we have the Llanowar Green Widow, probably one of the key creatures in this deck. It's a 3 mana 4/3 spider that has Reach and Trample, again inbuilt keywords, and its domain ability says return Llanowar Green Widow from your graveyard to the battlefield. It gains if this permanent would leave the battlefield, exile it instead of putting it anywhere else. This ability costs 1 less to activate for each basic land type among lands you control. Basically, it always costs 8, but by the time you have her out and all of that, if you have a full domain, this only costs 3. Pretty cool. This is one of the key creatures in our deck. We play with an Enchantment Saga. We play the Weatherseed Treaty, which has read ahead, so we can always start on which chapter we want to start. The first chapter, we search our library for a basic land card, put it onto the battlefield tapped. Simple, quick fixing and a little bit of ramping. Then on chapter 2, we create a 1/1 green Saproling creature token. I think this shouldn't be underestimated because in the current meta, with a lot of these sacrifice outlets from, for example, Liliana of the Veil or Invoke Despair, this is an easy fodder for that. If we have one of our key creatures out, for example, the Green Widow, and we then also get the token from the treaty, and our opponent casts Invoke Despair, we are always happy to stack the token into it. The third chapter is the exciting one. Target creature you control gets +X and gains trample until end of turn, where X is the number of basic land types among lands you control. So an inbuilt Gaia's Might, but also with the addition of simply giving the creature trample. Angel Fire Ignition, it's a card, yeah, I do understand that it doesn't really fit into Domain, but it fits simply because it's a powerful card that is good for mid-range decks. Put 2 +1/+1 counters on target creature, it gains Vigilance, Trample, Lifelink, Indestructible, and Haste until end of turn, and it has Flashback for 4 mana. Super dope card. Let's see if we will play it. I only have 1 copy, so maybe we won't even see it. I also added 1 copy of Radar Coalition Warlord, 4 mana, 3/3 Elf Warrior, and it says when she becomes tapped, another target creature we control gets +X until end of turn, where X is the number of basic land types among lands we control. So if we tap her, we get a Gaia's Might for free, for example. This deck is a bit more of a mid-range deck, so I also added Nael, Avizoa, Aeronaut. It is a 4 mana 2/4 flying Elf Scout, which says when she deals combat damage to a player, we look at the top X cards, where X is our domain number, and we get to put 1 of those cards on top, and we then control 5 basic land types. We also get to draw a card. So in the best case, you look at 5 cards from the top of your library, you pick the card that you need, put it on top, draw it immediately, because it's part of the resolution of the ability, and then you are good to go. You might find a protection spell, you might find another pump spell or whatever. Super dope card because it keeps you refilling your hand with the resources that you need. I do have a Fleetfoot Dancer. I added this creature simply because we are fixing so much mana with all of our triumphs, and I was looking at my collection and I thought, yeah, that's a good beatdown creature. 4 mana, trample, lifelink, haste, 4/4 elf druid, especially with a lot of red players currently in the meta. Mono red aggro will always find a way into the meta, and then having a 4 mana, 4/4 lifelink, haste, trample is good to stabilize, keep up the pressure, and 4/4 also ain't that easy to remove. It will at least eat, or in the most cases, eat 2 removal spells to simply get down this 4 toughness. The last creature, funny story, I've played so many drafts of Dominaria United, and Miria's Outrider is a creature which, with its base stats, looks very unattractive for a lot of people. 5 mana, 4/4 Elf Archer Reach isn't attractive at all, I do get that one, but the domain ability simply says it burns each of your opponents equal to the number of basic land types among lands you control. By the turn 5, you will most likely have 4 to 5 basic land types in play, so you burn your opponent for 4 to 5 damage, which is super dope, and especially with all of the Phoenix Chicks from the mono red deck, or the Hordijin from the mono blue deck, you are happy to have a reach creature that has 4 power, which can block those creatures into the ground, and then you're well set up. But this is also a nightmare of mine because Mira's Outrider has ended so many drafts of mine. I was sitting there, I knew, okay, next turn I do have to win. My opponent top decks this card, plays it, burns me for 5, and then the game was over. It was always in a very close scenario. And then, yeah, it happened that they played the Mira's Outrider. So we will see how it performs in this deck. Overall, let's see how this domain deck does. Yep, I take it. Most of our colors, the Jewel Thief will fix. Iron Apprentice, okay. Will we see an automaton here? Okay, smelter. Alright, now I see where this is going. Let's bring out the Jewel Thief. Let's see how they want to pass by 3-3. This is the scenario that I described earlier. We bring him out, we have the 1 mana, safekeeping available, super dope. Synthesizer, nice value card. Kumano also pretty good hit. But it seems like that they are missing a land drop here. Voltage Surge. Okay, Kumano. Voltage Surge would have been something... Okay, they still have the land. A rabbit battery, okay. Nothing to sacrifice. Pass the turn. I do have to say that I'd like to keep the treasure, simply to be able to use the Tamiyo safekeeping, which is why I will now bring out Rada instead of Nail. I first want to stabilize more. Attack for free. Still have it up. Yep, 3 damage. The Vigilance Trample on Jewel Thief is just such a good card. For common. Let's see who they will cast. I do expect an automaton in this deck. Voltage Surge, Sacrifice. They do find the Lightning Strike. Honestly, then I will just let Rada go. Because I expect them to use the Lightning Strike on our Jewel Thief. Alright. Got that one out of the way. Let's see. I think they will... Okay, interesting. Puts the counter... Okay. So we cannot play Nail. If we attack, they will most likely trade the 3-1 here. Next turn they will get the Kumano. I think I'll just play the Outrider and wait. We have domain 3, that's not that much, but the 4-4 on the ground also helps. No attacks yet. Next turn we can consider doing something simply because of Gaia's Might. Let's see if they have another Lightning Strike. Flame Discharge, okay. Haven't seen that card in a while. Yeah, I have to take that one for now. Okay. We can fix for blue with this. So we can bring out Naya next turn. Do I want to offer the trade here? Not really. Okay, reactor, that's scary. They will now start sacking and filling it up. Okay, Synthesizer is really a good one here. Found the mountain. We'll make another 3/3. So the smelter needs to go simply because this is their value engine. Okay, found another mountain. Okay. So let's get the smelter out of the way. Still taking 6. They don't have enough burn. Reactor is already at 3, that's not good. Okay. Let's bring out Nael. Yeah, and here I'm fine offering the trade. Let's see. They do have enough mana to crack the reactor, but it's at 3. But they can still kill the Jewel Thief. They might wait with it until we announce the trigger for treaty. Alright, so we will simply plot it onto Nael. And then we will also attack with Nael. And I think also with the Jewel Thief. Simply because we can. If they trade, that's fine for me. Okay. An Outrider would be super dope now. Oh, that's not an Outrider. I think I will take the Gaia Smite here. Put that one on top. If they find an answer or something to load up the reactor now, we might be in trouble as they will kill Nael, because that is the one creature killing them next turn. Okay. Will they reattach the rabbit battery? Okay. All out swing. This will be 3 damage. I don't see them burning us with 2 mana. And I don't see them killing Nael. So let's attack. Alright. What a match against Mono Red. Ooh, okay. We cannot keep this one. This one looks better. I think one garden can go. We do have fixing for days. Okay, this already looks like the mono blue matchup. Okay, Azorius. Azorius Spirits? Maybe? Interesting. Full deck tech. Well, that's already pretty scary. And let's get down the Brawler. 5-3 Trample. One less. Draw a card, discard. Okay. Well, that is definitely something. Jewel Thief? I guess. Do I want to attack? Yes, I do want to. Next turn I can bring out Nael, and Nael would at least jump the Protection Geist. Are we dead here? Looks like it. Well, at least a reach creature. I wonder if I... Ah, well, they will make another spirit on attack. It ain't even a legendary enchantment. Well, alright, good game. That was fun. Seems like a keep. Okay. Swamp, mountain or forest. And we would need the tree to fix for blue here. Okay. Well, there's blue. Then we can fix for something else. We have everything but black. So let's go pick it up. Maybe it would have been better to play the Widow here, to simply start pressuring our opponent. Because next turn we will have 5 mana and then we can play the Outrider, and well, then we have to see how it goes. If that would have been out already. Okay. Artifact spells. Backup Nael. Well, we have a full domain. I gotta go for it. Simply trying to create as much value as fast as possible. I don't know, but it feels like maybe our opponent is trying to ramp into the Portal of Phyrexia. Energy Refractor. Draw a card. Put a mana. Interesting. Or are they trying to play some Urza synergy here in those colors? I'm not really sure what our opponent is up to. Reckoner's Bargain, okay. Cool card. Interesting play though. I think before we do anything, I will just hit for 7 here. Jewel Thief, treaty. I think Jewel Thief is fine. We do have enough lands. We have 6 mana available. I will just develop my board here. Because as I've said, Portal to Phyrexia might be a consideration here. We are wide enough now. We have a lot of trample on board. Maybe the treaty would have been better for us. Because it is a great pump-up spell. Opponent has 6 mana available. Ah, okay. Am I fine trading? I am actually. But I do want to keep up the pressure here. Opponent takes it. Interesting. Radar, Jewel Thief. Radar can be devastating. Yeah, I think Radar's fine. That's the thing. We are now holding the Outrider. We always know, okay, we have 5 points of burn in hand. So we can just develop our board. And if we need it, we just have it. That's the good thing about Domain. It relies on your lands. And lands, kind of hard to remove. Not impossible, but it's hard to remove. And you always have that synergy available. Choking Miasma, okay. If we get to tap Radar next turn, that will be it. But there's a cut down. Pretty good actually with the Choking Miasma. We still have a lot of Tramplers coming their way, and as I've said, Radar will pump them up heavily. Okay. So we will pump up our Spider. Yeah, it doesn't really matter who they block. Nice, good game. Alright everybody, so I hope you enjoyed these games of my Domain deck. As I've said already in the beginning, it is completely built out of cards out of my collection. As I've said, Phyrexia All Will Be One will be coming and I'm saving wild cards. Still, I really enjoy playing the deck, and I do have to say, I do want to give out honorable mention to common cards simply also for these decks. One of my MVPs is always the Jewel Thief here, Vigilance Trample, 3 mana 3/3 that creates a treasure token. It's a lot for a common in my opinion, and I think it definitely deserves an honorable mention. Also, I do have to say, the Outrider, as I have explained in my last match, is simply, you know, while you are having it in hand, and if you're not playing against blue, you always have the feeling when you are playing Domain again, you know, okay, I have 5 damage of burn in hand. I do play a mid-range aggro deck, and it really helps out to know, okay, I do have that damage. I don't need to play him right now, but even though it's a creature, it's still damage that pings when this creature enters. Super helpful in my opinion. Overall, then I also do have to say the Weatherseed Treaty. It's an enchantment saga where most people really think, okay, it's not that big of a deal, but in a Domain deck I do think that it really gets to show off. Though it is with 3 mana on the free creature curve, so it might be worth a consideration to say, okay, I might slot out the Radar's Firebrand because this is for me personally, because I only have 2 copies. Maybe put in a Lanova Visionary to have at least some sort of ramp in this deck. But overall, the way I played it and the games that I have had were super fun, and I hope you enjoyed it too. And I do have to say, shout out to Nael again. Super cool card, does a lot for the text on it and 2 for flying, pretty dope. Lets you draw cards when you have a full domain. Really neat, and I like it. Overall, I hope you enjoyed these games, and then I would say see you in the next video. Goodbye, guys.